clerk of the court first and run through their questions and their opening and closing remarks. And then we're going to move over to the property appraiser's race so that you can distinguish on the ballot who you're going to vote for. Gwen, come on up and give us your 3-minute speech.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I want to first start by thanking NEBA for putting on this forum. The clerk of court race has been outshadowed by some of the other races here locally, so we definitely appreciate the opportunity to come before you today. Again, my name is Gwen Marshall. I am your candidate for the clerk of court and comptroller here in Leon County. I'm running because this position means, this is my passion. It means more to me than just being an elected official. I've spent the last 17 years working for the Florida Court Clerks and Comptrollers, say that 5 times real fast. But I've worked for the Clerk of Court Comptrollers for 17 years, advocating and promoting awareness to the Clerk of Court's office throughout the state of Florida. I started off as a receptionist, part-time for supplemental income while I worked my way through college, and I moved up the chains real fast. I've held various positions at the association. I worked in the Florida Trust as a financial analyst. I've worked in child support, advocating for timely child support payments through the transition of centralizing our child support unit. I've also worked in marketing, promoting some of the services that we provide, like My Florida County, the e-portal, Open Pay. But lastly, the most important role I've held for the last 10 years was Member Services Manager. My primary role was to develop, implement, and administer the training program for the clerk of courts throughout the state of Florida and their staff. So, as your candidate, I have a broad experience on some of the issues, of all the issues actually, and I've been working on solutions, statewide solutions, not just here in Leon County, on the challenges that the clerk's office face. Right now, we're going through a severe budget shortfall, so we are working to advocate for sustainable funding for our judicial process. Also, we're looking to work with our judicial partners on the civil side, and that's the main reason why I'm running, to ensure that all citizens in Leon County have equal access to our justice system. The criminal side is afforded attorneys by law. But we have an issue when it comes to our non-violent or non-civil cases with the courthouse. And because of this backlog and lack of access to attorneys or resources, we're now faced with the challenge of making sure, well, technically we're, the legislature has been addressing recently our state filling our prisons up with our community members who cannot afford their court fees. And how that impacts you is because if we do not address that, we have 3 major universities here in Tallahassee, and most of those non-civil infraction comes from our college students with parking tickets, seatbelt violations, simple infractions. And when they cannot fulfill those obligations, they're going to jail because of those lack of resources. So my time is out, and I apologize, but yes, again, I'm Gwen Marshall. I'm your candidate for Leon County Clerk of Court.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Franklin Ayetin, and I'm a nonpartisan candidate for Clerk of Court. A few things. One, I promised to keep it under 3 minutes. And then I also wanted to clarify a little bit. There's some confusion. A lot of people don't know about this office. Gwen mentioned she works for SCCC. That's not the clerk's office. That's a private organization that helps facilitate things for the clerk's office, so definitely provide some clarification there. But I'm an attorney, and I also have an MBA. And as Gwen mentioned, there's been budget cuts in the office for the last 10 years. And that means the clerk's office has had to do more with less. The clerk's office here in Leon County has gone from having over 250 employees to now having under 150. At the same time, there's been additional mandates by the Supreme Court for e-filing, for making things available online. Having an MBA, I've learned, how to make things more efficient and how to run the office. I have a lot of good ideas. I'm young, I'm invested in this community, and I want to be here for a really, really long time and serve my community. I've served my community in a variety of things that I've done, and what I do for my free time and also what I do for work. I'm currently the Assistant General Counsel at the Florida Division of Emergency Management. And that agency, we help coordinate a variety of disasters that come through here, man-made as well as natural. Obviously, we're dealing with the issues of Hurricane Hermine that came through here. And one of the biggest things is you have to be a clerk of court in good times and also in bad times. When there's no power, when there's no electricity, when you have to make sure that official records that you're keeping need to be kept and provided for and well maintained. I want to be a clerk in good times and in bad times, and I want to serve this community. There's a variety of things that I want to do, and one of the biggest things is I want to invest in the office. We have a variety of employees there who've been working there for a long time, and on average, entry-level people make about $12 an hour. That's resulting in probably about over 30% turnover every single year. That's expensive for the office to have to retrain people every time they come in. So I want to invest in those employees to make sure we get small wage increases to make sure that we keep people that we want to keep. At the same time, also making sure that I invest in higher education for the employees to make sure that we have the best well-trained staff here in Leon County. And finally, being here in Leon County, we have an advantage that other clerk's offices don't have. There's been 10 years of budget cuts. The legislature meets here. They're here for a couple months out of the year. It's an opportunity for us to invite them into the office and let them know why we need additional funding to make sure that this office is running for you and for the rest of the citizens here in Leon County. Thank you guys again. I hope to earn your vote November 8th. And my name is Frank Diane, candidate for clerk of court. Thanks.
We'll let you ask your opponent a question.
And why do you think the citizens should vote for you?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I want to be clerk of court for Leon County. I feel I'm young. I'm 29. I definitely want to spend the rest of my life in this community, invest in this community. I definitely think I have the skill sets, and I think Bob Inzer has done a good job in maintaining the clerk of court's office that we have now. I think we're at a critical point with him retiring. We want to make sure whoever he transitions the office to is definitely capable of not only keeping the same level of service we've come accustomed to, but also going beyond that and improving upon some of the stuff that he did. And I think I'm that candidate, and I think I can definitely bring clerk's office into the future if elected. So.
Okay, Frank, and you can ask Gwen a question.
So Gwen, I've actually been meaning to ask you this for a while. So I know you've been saying that you do training for FCCC, and a lot of the training is actually performed by current clerk of courts or attorneys. So could you elaborate on what exactly you do and what actual classes you've actually been in the classroom and taught?
Good question. The clerks have the most extensive training program out of any of our judicial constitutional officers. In order to become certified, you have to have 240 hours. I think like the sheriff and the state attorneys, they only require 36 hours of initial training to get that certification. As far as me personally, my experience varies. Like I said before, I become member services. The training that I provided was actual on our services, for instance, e-portal. I go into the clerk's offices around the state and actually show them how, and actually sit with them on days on how to utilize these softwares. Like I say, most people don't understand a lot of these programs are based at the association located out on McClay Boulevard. But as I've gotten promoted, I really recruit people, experts in those areas. It's not just the clerks and it's not just attorneys who put on these trainings. I also work with, I bring people in from our state.
Thank you guys for having us out here. I think this is one of the elections that get missed and overlooked. A lot of people don't realize everything that's involved in the clerk's office. It touches people in our community day to day in a variety of different ways. So I would definitely like people to definitely pay attention, do research on Gwen and I, see if you feel comfortable in leading this office into the future, because again, it's going to touch your life in a variety of different ways. I think I'm that candidate. Again, having a law degree, having an MBA, I think that fits in perfectly with the office. You're clerk of court, and the law degree will definitely help me navigate the variety of different statutes that the office is charged with carrying forth. As well as being an MBA, there's a variety of different accounting classes, there's a variety of different financial classes and business classes that go along with that. And that'll definitely help me move forward in the comptroller role. And I think I'm the candidate to guarantee that the clerk's office is definitely well staffed and has the best clerk to bring it into the future and to modernize. And I definitely will be the type of clerk who's in the community, who reaches out, who's always open to hear any suggestions and move forward in that fashion. So once again, thank you for having us out here, and I appreciate the time.
I will be brief. Again, my experience provides me a unique understanding of the clerk's office. I am a graduate of Florida State University. I have my bachelor's in criminology. I'm currently seeking my master's in social science. But my experience in my career and my dedication to this office, I know the importance of the clerk's role in the judicial process, and I will use my leadership in the industry experience to make sure our clerk's office in Leon County is performing way above any other else county in the Second Judicial Service. I'll expand upon the works that Clerk Enzer has already set in place when it comes to our technology, and just make sure our business and local community have the resources and the navigation of tools to make a sound judicial assistance, sound judicial decision for their lives. I commit to work hard, and I commit to be a good steward of your tax dollars, and I appreciate your support and the opportunity to earn your vote on November 8th. Again, I'm Gwen Marshall for Clerk of Court. Thank you.
Appraisers, just to review the rules again, 3 minutes for opening remarks, 1 minute for each of the questions, and 2 minutes for closing. I promise not to mess that up. We're going to start out with Akeen, and then Akeen, you got 3 minutes. Come on up to the mic.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having us here today. I was very proud to serve as a county commissioner, and I was able to do so much in that short period of time, including helping to start the homeless veteran stand down, including helping to create the Center for Women and Girls, and helping to work with the chamber to create jobs. And what I'm most proud of, and most people don't know this, I was only one of 2 commissioners that consistently voted against any tax increases, and you can check their record. Every candidate has their strengths and weaknesses. For me, my strength is talking to citizens one-on-one. And in the past primary, I was able to talk to thousands of citizens. And the 2 main questions they seem to ask me is, why is this office very important? And why are you the best candidate for this position? On the first question, I'll tell them, the home is most citizens' single biggest investment. It is important that somebody who is experienced and yet unbiased is steward of that office, and I'm that person. On the experience, the list goes on, but I'll just share a few with you. As an architect, I can, like appraisers, evaluate building property from the market value approach, the comparable approach. In addition, I can do a single component by component of a building, take it price. As a land use planning instructor, I bring so much resources for innovation this office definitely needs. As a county commissioner, I have a good grasp of the algorithm tax process. And as the former chair of the Value Adjustment Board, I've helped many citizens resolve their dispute with the office and valuation methods. But for me, it is not these technical skills that really matter. This is a leadership position. And for me, it's my reputation for fairness and public service that made me the most qualified for this position. Again, a little known fact, and I've said it once before, I am more physically conservative than people want to let you believe. Forget about party labels. Look at people's actual record of what they've done. And I'll give you a few examples. Every day I was in the office, they bring forward the 5 cents gas tax. And I'm the one that shut it down. You can check the record. 6 months after I was gone, it was passed. You talk to Sudik. I served the chamber for 6 years. And when Proctor and Ratcliffe tried to defund EDC, every single time I'm the one that stood up vocally. You can check the record. Not other people that you would think. Well, 3 years later, guess what? The EDC is gone. So for me, you know, I just think it's important to know the records. And again, I appreciate your vote. Hopefully I get to continue in my closing remarks. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Greg Lane, and I'd like to be your next Leon County property appraiser. As many of you know, my friend Bert Hartsfield is retiring after 20 years of great service and innovative technology with the Leon County Property Appraiser's Office. I will gladly give up 5 seconds of my time for a quick round of applause. But you will have a decision to make on November 8th, a very important decision, choice as to who your next Leon County property appraiser will be. It's time to get serious. I respect this office, and I care about who's going to lead it into the future. And I'm ready to take on this opportunity. You already know it makes sense to run independent. Ask yourself, should this really be a partisan position? It shouldn't be. Nobody answers that. The thousands of people that signed petitions for me said, well, that just makes sense. This should be independent. I can run this office fairly and accurately and unbiased. I am an appraiser now. I will bring that forward as well. Furthermore, I'm qualified as a licensed, certified appraiser in the state of Florida. I've been an appraiser for over 20 years in Leon County. I've also served as an expert witness in many cases in Leon County courts. I'm a realtor. I'm involved in many different real estate groups, building groups, the Board of Realtors, the Builder Association, I was president of the Mortgage Bankers Association, and I've personally appraised over 10,000 properties in Leon County. The local real estate banking, construction associations, they support me, Greg Lane for Property Appraiser. They're looking for somebody with experience. They know that this job takes that. I think that the leadership, business management, and appraisal experience is vital to the successful transition of the Leon County Property Appraiser's office. After all, the Property Appraiser is the spokesperson for the Property Appraiser's office for the capital of Florida. He's a leader of over 50 skilled professional employees. It's an office responsible for assessing over 108,000 properties in Leon County, an office responsible for over $25 billion in real estate, 14.8 of which is taxable property. And the Property Appraiser's office is the steward of over 50% of the funds necessary to balance our Leon County budget. The Property Appraiser needs a skill set to lead this respected office into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get serious. This is a very serious opportunity, very serious role. It's important for all of us to know that we are all impacted. Whether you are a renter, renting a property, or homeowner, you could be impacted by an inaccurate property assessment. You need experience. On November 8th, remember the name, Greg Lane. Thank you. 1 minute. What this office does not need is a complete overhaul. As I explained before, I've interviewed the employees. I've walked through the office. I think I saw 100 monitors when I walked through. I saw 50 computers or more than that. Systems administrator, IT. I mean, they've got it going on. Everything was digital. I saw very little paper in the office. Could add maybe a few little technology things here and there, but in general, it's great. Regardless, in 2017, there'll be a new leader. In 41 days, there'll be a new leader in that office. Ask yourself, shouldn't it be someone with experience in, say, real estate appraisal? On November 8th, again, I ask you, vote for experience, vote for Greg Lane. Thank you.
Again, thank you for having us. This has been very, very helpful. And I'm actually at ease and at peace for going through this process. I was talking before about my conservative experiences. Even after I left office, I continued to work on this. I work with a bipartisan group of citizens that put on the Citizens Ethics Commission. In particular, I specifically recommend to them to lower the contribution from 500 to 250, as I did for the county commission rates when I was in office. If I'm lucky to be elected, I'm going to continue the good work that Mr. Asfield has done, and I'm going to continue to make the office more innovative, more transparent, and more accessible. But just 3 quick pointers. On experience, doing a mass modeling of 117,000 properties is day and night from doing property assessment of just one single home. Let's not make a conception. Methodology involved, the tools involved are completely different. As far as our record, I have a record. I have worked for many, many years, as a commissioner, including when I was the chairman, where I set up a task force to work with most of you here in this room, our realtors, our builders, to find a way to reuse vacant commercial properties. And, for me, honestly, I've had questions, and I'm being honest here. Knows who have your back. Please, truly know who have your back. True to my character, I'm going to work as hard for you no matter who you vote for today on November 8th. You can bet on that. But I hope that for once, you're on my side, because I've always been on your side. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. See you next month. Bye-bye.